Hey everybody, this is Dr. J and Kamal, streaming live from Long Island, New York, and Westchester, New York. Just the burbs of New York City, right, Kamal?
Yes,
We're in
Long
the
Island.
burbs. We're in the burbs, and we're celebrating what happened in the streets of New York City on Wall and Broad today. Today was a
Yep,
nice day. It was biotech is on a run, and MA is with us today. Mark is with us today. Appreciate that. And Manik Joshi, and I'm sure we'll get others. I tried to do a live stream on just on YouTube earlier in the day, and I couldn't figure out how to get the audio to work. So I had to give it up. What I really wanted to talk about is a novice more than anything else, then Sava and Spy. Those three. Alexis is with us today. You know, a novice is it's near and dear to my heart because it offers hope for Parkinson's patients. And really, there's no drug at all that really offers much hope for Parkinson's. I've tried many a drug. They're all basically one form or another of dopamine, whether it's pure dopamine replacement or a dopamine agonist or something along those lines. They all have similar side effects that work similarly. And basically, they don't stop progression, none of them. So this one offers hope, butane tap from Anovis. In fact, I might even take a little time out and do something I seldom do, and that is read a news article from Anovis. It's from the CEO. I'm not. The CEO is of Anovis is a woman. Let's see, going into the news. Her name is Maria Macchiacini, and she issued a letter to stockholders on 9/8, just the other day, just yesterday. And here's what she says. Dear fellow stockholder, over the years we've been talking about the potential of Buntain tap to treat more than Alzheimer's. In cell models, animal models, human clinical studies, we've seen that Buntain tap works in numerous acute and chronic neurodegenerative conditions. And then she goes on to explain how it works by inhibiting specific neurotoxic proteins such as amyloid precursor protein, APP, tau, and alpha synuclein protein, TAR DNA binding protein, and prion protein. All of these are toxic proteins involved in either Huntington's disease, Parkinson's disease, or Alzheimer's disease. So it inhibits all of these. So theoretically, it could work against all of these diseases, come on, not just Parkinson's.
That's
But
impressive.
but the point is that they're going ahead first with the study in Parkinson's. Why? Because I assume in phase two, the Parkinson's cohort showed the biggest improvement. It was good for cognition as well in the Alzheimer's patients. So it shows two indications. And we had someone on the show who raved about the effects of butane tap, claiming she was in the phase two trial and that it had vast improvements. So to me, if it inhibits this protein, then it very well may delay progression or stop progression because associated with Parkinson's or Alzheimer's is Lewy bodies, a misfolded protein. And if they do an MRI of the brain, you can see these proteins that are misfolded. And if this can be inhibited, then further damage to the brain will cease. So it seemed to me if it doesn't cure it, it would at least stop it in its tracks. And that has enormous potential. By the way, Novus is only 130 million market cap.
That's like peanuts.
It's definitely peanuts. Uh, Wainwright, what is it, HC Wainwright, whatever the initials are. The analyst there came out with a $40 target, and it's like everyone, it ignited everything. It was selling at about 10 and change, now it's 15 and change over 2 days. Let me just see what else that letter said. It goes on to talk about the science a little bit more. Most importantly, the last paragraph, this has been demonstrated in human clinical trials, if that is the efficacy. In our recent phase 2 clinical trial in Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, treatment with butane tap resulted in reduction of aggregating proteins and statistically significant improvement in motor function in Parkinson's disease patients and cognition in Alzheimer's. You know, motor function and motion is one thing, but I'm wondering if it'll help with trauma because that's my biggest symptom. So I mean, it's not just for me. It's not just an investment. True, I own a lot of it, but it's not just. It's different than any other investment I've made because it has real import to myself, to me, to my illness. And I think if I can get in, I probably will apply for the trial. I think it'll fill rather quickly. MA is asking about the cash on hand. I believe they have enough cash on hand for the phase 3 trial in Parkinson's. The thing is, they want to do it immediately followed by a phase 3 in Alzheimer's. For that, they would need to do a raise. They have plenty of backing, I'm sure. It's basically a two-person company, CEO and the chief science officer. So it's not like some companies that we've seen go pretty much belly up, where they pay huge salaries to 20 people and accomplish nothing. I won't mention the name of the company, but you know one that I've been following recently and got out of, right? Without mentioning any names. You can guess.
Starts with an A.
Starts with an A. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Another one that Mika mentions that's phase 2 model, phase 2 trial is IKT, another one for Parkinson's, but they're a little behind in terms of time. It takes a long time to go from phase 2 to the finish line. So I'm looking forward to Innovus completing phase 3 rather quickly and moving this drug along. MA is giving hints as to what company I'm referring to. That was basically pissing away the money. But I don't think that's the case here. I think this one has got the full backing of the FDA. The FDA is guiding the company along in its phase 3 trial. Obviously, they had to approve it. And I think Innovus is for real. I want to look at the chart of that. I want to look at the chart of SPY. And I want to look at the chart of SAVA. If we have time, we could look at IKT. I like IKT, but don't get me wrong, it's another good one. But it's, again, further behind. It's behind. And that's what I got against it, the only thing. So let me share screen. And we'll take a look at Innovus. We'll take a look at the spiders. The spiders taught me a lesson 3 days ago when I saw it hit 388. I bounced up from there. I knew that there was a good chance we get a rally, and I'll explain why. Several reasons why. And we'll also talk about where I think the spiders are heading and where the market in general, where I think that's heading. All right. SPY, here we go. The market did phenomenal today. 1.5% move up on the S&P, 2% on the NASDAQ, 2% on the Russell. Bitcoin had a great day today. Bitcoin was up 10%, $2,000 to 21,000. Really nice move for Bitcoin. Amazon up 3.5%. Some nice moves today. It was a really good day. Really good day for my portfolio. All right. Okay, so this is the spiders. I was going to do ANOVAs first, but let's do the spiders because I have it up. If we go back to when is that? Tuesday, right? Tuesday is the day that it bottomed. 9.6. It bottomed at 388.42. First thing to notice is a simple trend line. You know how I like trend lines. I like to, if I can draw a straight line, I draw a straight line. So I'm going to draw a straight line, try to draw a straight line from the lows of the 17th of June to the lows the other day. And it's pretty much collinear, these three lows, almost perfectly collinear, slightly off, but very, very close. So we essentially have a trend line right at the bottom of the day, the low of the day, which indicates to me support. So the fact that it bounced right here shows to me some resiliency. We got support at the trend line. And we have a sequence now of higher lows. The first higher low, 714, and the next higher low, 9.6. Now, that was the first thing I noticed that I liked. The second thing I noticed that I liked a lot is, you know how I'm crazy with the fib numbers?
Fibonacci, yes.
Yeah. So I looked at the retracement from this low of the 17th up to the high that we got when we hit the 200-day moving average, right there. And if you notice, look at this, the 61.8% retracement is exactly the bottom of this candle, 288, or 288 and change, whatever. So you see we have trend line support, we have Fibonacci retracement, exactly that. And then the third thing I noticed is we're about to cross the 50 with the 100. You see that?
Right.
So we have a golden cross coming, the 50 with the 100 on the daily. So we have a lot of nice stuff here technically going on. So that's why I got excited when this happened. And I tweeted it out that 288 is the key number. Either we're going to close below that, and then we're looking at new lows probably, a close above that, and we're looking at least to a move to the 200. Now let's take a look at where I think we're going. I showed you where we came from, right?
Right.
Any questions on where we came from? I'm like a teacher now.
It looks so perfect, that line.
Yeah, everything's perfect, right?
Yeah.
You got three good reasons to be optimistic. Of course, there's a fourth reason that's not a technical reason. What do you know what that is? Fundamental reason?
No.
Think what's happening on the 13th of September, Tuesday at 8:30 a.m.
Fed's meeting or something?
No, we get the CPI print for
Oh.
the
Oh.
yeah for the month of August. So last CPI print was taken by the market in a very positive note, right? And we continue showing a trend down in CPI, then it's gonna zoom. So I think some of it is baked into the market already. So it really has to be a big cool off number. So a number like 7, I think would cause the market to shoot up even more. 7.5 may not be enough. What was it last month? 8.5 to print?
Eight. I think 8.6 it was.
Yeah, so 7.6, I think would not cause it to move up. 7, I think would, my opinion. Everything is just my opinion, right? And not investment advice. Everyone should do their own due diligence, check with an advisor, and so on. Okay, so we had 3 nice days off of this particular candle. And the next day after that was also very bullish. Look at this candle on the 7th. You see this candle? Very bullish because it's the first candle in a series of about 10 or 11. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. About 15 candles before we get a nice big green candle up. And when you have some market going straight down and you get a big green juicy candle like that, that's enough to get me excited. One candle.
So looks like next week gonna be a green week.
Now next week we're going to probably rally right into Tuesday. Depending on the number on the print, we might get a pullback. But if forgetting the fundamentals, let's just look at the technicals on the spiders. The first technical that comes to mind is a 200-day, which caused it to bounce the last time. It bounced right off of it and down she went. Well, if that happens again, we're looking at, let's see, what is that number? 426.55. I'll draw it in.
So that's a solid resistance there, right?
Yep, that's the first. I call it resistance 1, R1. I'll show you my R2, D2. My resistance 2. Come on. My second resistance is the actual high that we made over here at 816. We made a high of 431.73. That's the second number, that's resistance. And the third number is about 434 and change. Let me draw that in. It's a little too high. Somewhere around there. Those are the resistance areas. So from 426 to 434 is a tough sledding. If it goes past that, I have a feeling it could make new highs for the year. So that's where the area of really tough resistance is. I kind of expect one of those areas to cause profit taking. I'm not sure which, but one of them. I don't think it'll go down that much. Remember when I talked about when we were going up, I said it's going to go down, and you
Right.
got upset with me?
I definitely remember that.
Yeah, and I pointed out that 200 was a possibility, and this line up here at 434, I said was a fib number. So those are the two resistance areas that I was talking about. Now, of course, we have a third because the 200 moved down, right? So the 200 is declining. So by the time it bumps into the 200, it'll be lower than 426. Maybe it'll be 425 or 424. But I think we're moving up to that point. I don't see the turnaround unless we have a miss on the CPI number on Tuesday. I don't see that happening. All indications are that inflation is cooling. So I don't see that happening. I'm optimistic that we at least test the 425 area. And again, if we can get through 435, I think we go to new highs. Very, very key.
But do you think this can happen this year? Because
Yes. Definitely. History repeats itself. There's been
can I
many.
Can you see that candle there? Just out of curiosity, that candle where it says May, is that May?
May,
There is a candle identical to this, to today's candle. You see it right there. Yes, a little higher,
identical,
right there. You see
this
the
one.
candle before it. It
Yeah,
looks
720, 729.
right. So it
Yeah,
took roughly 2 months to reach that high.
yeah, I see what you're saying. And
So
but we reached it from much lower, from a lower level.
right.
This is exactly the same high of the day, I think.
Exactly. I mean, if you look at the pattern, it looks the same.
Let me see. 406.80. Today's high was 407.51. It's slightly less, but basically the same. I drew the horizontal. You can see
Yes, I see it.
it's a little bit off, but that's a good trend. That's a good point of resistance
Right,
because it's also the low of the day afterwards.
right,
So you got the 728 and 729. It looks like an area that could cause a little problem right there, right where we close.
right.
It's possible.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that between now and end of year, you know, it's very
Also,
optimistic.
I expect
We can reach new highs.
in the worst case, if we do come down, I expect this trend line to hold.
I agree with that too. I definitely agree with that.
See this trend line that I just drew? I expect it to hold.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So let's say we hit my first number, 425. Come down, I expect it to come down no more than 395. Trend line, you know what I'm saying?
Yep, yep.
All right,
Yeah,
before I put everyone to sleep, let's go to Anoma's.
actually, I love this analysis right there. That
I
was,
hope other people love it.
yeah. I mean, the
They
numbers made sense, perfect
do,
sense.
they do make sense. Okay, Novus Pharmaceutical. What a candle today. Wow. Technically, it's phenomenal candle. Did we take this high out from 7.7, 15.80? Let's see. I don't think so. 15.64. So we got to take out 15.80. And then it's good for $20.60. How do I know that? Because I'm psychic. So if it takes out this 1580 level, I think then we're looking at the 200 as the next target, which would be right up there at about $20.50. Let's see exactly. 200 it would be not the 200. What line is that? It's above. I guess it is a 200, 17 and change. I'm sorry. So that would be the first area of resistance right there. And if it takes that out, then I think you're looking at let's see, let's see what we're looking at. If it takes out the 200, if the 200 goes, then let's just see what we're looking at. I think we're probably looking at a huge move. Yeah, there's really very little in the way, all the way up to. I think we could retest a high of 11.8 of $39. There you go. There's the $40 price target.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it could happen a lot sooner than the picture they're painting. $40 would be a modest number for this
I mean,
stock.
it has a low float, so it could
Yeah, I
easily.
mean, you're talking about 132 million market cap, so I think 10 times that is where it belongs. That would be 1.32 billion. So my target is $153, not 40. So $40 would be the first step. I'll give the analyst some credit. I agree with him. $40 makes sense. but I think it'll happen sooner as opposed to later. By the way, I was not overly impressed with the letter to the shareholders. You know why?
Why?
Maria did not say anything new, and she used the same verbiage before, exactly word for word. So if you
Too much
follow
cut and
the
paste.
stock, you got absolutely zero information from that letter to shareholders. To me, that's wasteful use of a PR.
Right. Too much cut and paste.
She should have come on the show and just talk. Should have done better. I did better just in my presentation earlier than she did in that letter to shareholders.
I concur.
All right. Anyway, enough criticizing the CEO. And basically, I'm thrilled with the progress they're making, and I'm thrilled that there's a phase three. I think it's going to be available in New York City, one of the major hospitals. I believe Mount Sinai. That's what I heard. I didn't check it, but I'm going to look into that. So Innovus, we like it very much on fundamentals. We like it on technicals, although we are knocking on the door of resistance right now. So based on what I see, will it go straight up? Maybe, because it's got tremendous Momo. But I think it's also, if you're looking for a starter position in this, I would look to wait. You know how I like half that candle, half the green candle. I would look to get in at 1381,
I see.
something like that.
Well, provided I think next week is going to be green, that means it's going to be going up too.
Maybe even lower. So it depends on the rest of the market, of course. But
I see.
if I don't have a position, or even if I want to add to my position, I'd be looking to add in the 13s, not the 15s.
Makes sense.
All right, I just thought I'd mention that.
What
Saab,
about what
Saab is the other
about
one. I'm thrilled with the price action. Sava, of course, is leap year. Leap years ahead of its competition in Alzheimer's, and and probably at this point the short attack is fizzled. So this is a beautiful green candle. It has to overcome, just like a Novus, some stiff resistance at the close at the 200. So it's had a nice run. It has to take out the 200 is at $33, very little above where it closed. So it's got to close above $33, and then it could run to 40 easily. That's the line that I drew earlier. I didn't draw it today. I think the $40 is my target on this. It's funny, I have the same price target on both Novus and Sava, $40. But the thing with the 40 on Sava is that it should make it first. I think that'll be the first to reach target. And Novus before Novus. Although it's close, and Novus could have tremendous Momo. Uh, Once it closes above 40, then we have to reassess. It looks like it could run much higher. Even though it has a higher market cap, it's deserving of a higher market cap because it's further along. It's well into phase three trials. We're waiting on some interim data. And it's on Alzheimer's, where there's 6 times the population in the United States than Parkinson's. Parkinson's, I think, is it 1 million and 6 million patients, I want to say,
wow, it's a
respectively.
lot.
I think there's 1 million with Parkinson's and 6 million with Alzheimer's. But I don't remember. I'm just teasing. Okay. I guess that's enough for one show, right?
Yes. Looking forward to next week.
Yeah. MA has a lot of things to say, so it, and so does a lot of other people on the show with us today. So I recommend to people viewing the viewing this vlog show, whatever you want to call it, to view it with live chat on so they can read the messages. Adios, amigos.
Have a nice weekend. Have a
Well,
nice
see
weekend.
you next week. Bye bye.
Bye.